Hello, welcome to the box room. David Bradley here. So, what I've just done is I have switched my microphone setup. I have. So now I will take the ones that I have been using. I will put them on this little charger. I will press the button. It will come off. It reads at 89%. And I will set them delicately over here, out of the way, along with this critical piece. Critical. Without this, there's nothing to be done. That plugs in my case, to an iPhone, and then it will talk to the microphones. And how do you know they're talking? Because when you turn on, the green light comes on steady. So they will charge. I will set them there. This is the box for the ones that I am now testing. And it can sit there with the other box, even though I don't have them in the box. Here is Richard Dixon, the stories I kept to myself. Tricky Dick. Ah, yes, and here, look. Some of these old magazines, one of the coolest things about them are the commercials, or the ads. There is a vintage Coca-Cola ad, and there is a vintage picture of Richard Nixon, who of course is the only president to resign. But certainly lately, there's at least one other who might consider that maybe it's time to stop. Okay, so this does not need to be here. It does not. What is this? Ooh, here's an ad. From Maytag. Remember the Maytag repairman, the loneliest man. Anyway, this one here says 1936, bought Maytag. 1961, bought new part. That's a pretty good run. Let's see here. You can see that the last 25 years have been kind to Mrs. Roy Neely of Noonan, Georgia. As kind to her as her remarkable Maytag. Over the years, she's developed a real affection for it, and no wonder. She bought this Maytag as a bride, and the very first time it needed repairs was long after she had become a grandmother. Nor was her Maytag coddled. For 6 years, 3 families used it, besides ourselves, wrote Mrs. Neely. She concluded her complimentary letter to Mr. Maytag by noting that in this day and age, it was nice to be able to get a new part for a machine that old. In our reply, we couldn't resist telling Miss Neely that the new part is actually better than the old. 2 things only remain to be said. No, we don't expect every Maytag we build to last as long as Mrs. Neely's. Yes, we do everything we can to build them so they will. Many long years from now, parts, if needed, will be available for your new Maytag automatic with all these features. Automatic bleach dispenser automatic bleach dispenser ends bleaching mistakes. Lint filter agitator ends lint problems. Automatic water level control saves money. Safety lid stops action in seconds when opened. And a zinc-coated steel cabinet protects against rust. Cool. Let's see. I thought, oh my word. Chevrolet, a new world of worth. Look at these. This is like worthy of like pretty much almost framing. Look. It's the 1962 Chevrolet Jobmaster trucks. Aren't they beastly? Where are they? Yes, there they are. Anyway, I'm not going to go through this, but as I've said with other such magazines, March 16th, 1962, 20 cents. I'm going to keep it, but it doesn't need to be right there. Now, don't mind me, I'm causing an avalanche. Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, this is not going well. Stop it, stop it, stop it. So, oh no, everything is trying to fall, including Mr. Nixon. Hang on here. This did not go well. I'm going to stop. Okay, just a moment, Mr. Nixon. Ah, all right. Don't do that. Don't fall down. All right, up over here, there's a bunch of things, including, look, it's the sleeve from 1541. And that is a magical thing, but it doesn't need to be right where it is. Here's another little tripod. Here's a Commodore 64 board. It really doesn't necessarily need to be there. So I'll set it on this pile of stuff. Here. Oh, this is the Commodore 64C that I left out in the sun for about a month. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of things here. Oh, okay. Da, 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 da. So I'm figuring, oh, there's another Commodore 64 and a power supply, not power supply, power bar. Oh, what a strange thing we have here. I think I will move this over here. I'm going to have to do some more shuffling. Indeed. Oh my. Anyway, in the box room, yes, I need more boxes. I'm thinking that I'm going to put more things in more boxes and maybe not have them here and find other places that they can strategically go. All right. So this Vic 20 box, which is in pretty fine shape, was one that I got recently. And the styrofoam that's right here was inside. So what better way to not have them causing trouble and falling and shifting and doing things and to put them back together the way that they were with great care and reverence. The box is not perfect, but almost, considering its age. Close it up, lock it up, and set the two things over here, which are now better sorted and figured than they were. At least I think so. All right. Glass is off. Now, there are other things here. Here's a thing I bought years ago offline, and it is a patch from the Toronto District School Board. Oops. It seems to have gone limp. Perhaps this needs... Oh dear. I also often put together hats of things. Maybe this needs to go on a hat. I think I will put it up here with the discs, but I will take it to where I do things. Oh yeah. Okay, so now here we have things. This is an A520. It is, and it's for an Amiga. And it's funny because the Amiga 1000 had a color composite output, but the 500 and the 2000 didn't. So, in order to get that, if you were only using a composite monitor and you wanted color, you had to get this little thing, which of course sticks out the back. And it's, I don't know, 6 inches long, and it kind of makes it more difficult on the desk. Anyway, it also has an RF out, audio in, it says, and video out. Anyway, oh, what's this? Yeah, audio in. Interesting. Anyway, I use such things if I would hook an Amiga up to, say, a monitor like this, or the monitor that's hiding back there. I have. Now here comes, there's cabling. Now this cable, it may still actually be attached to this monitor in the back. I don't know. It might be. It's basically an RCA to RCA, but it also has which things that I like, where you can, if you plug in one thing, you can also plug another thing in behind it, which makes it handy for various applications and things. And I certainly in audio things, I think this is more handy, but I've used it for all kinds of things. So I'm not sure that if I pull on this cable, I'm going to find that it is still attached to this monitor, so I'm not going to pull on it. And this may be very handy very soon. All right, now. Oh, ow, no falling down. No falling down. Okay. Now here's a keyboard from an Amiga 2000, which at some point, it's got this awful slime rubber. There were covers you could get that basically covered the keyboard from, getting dirty and stuff before the stuff that stuck them on there was gross when things came off and hard to get off. And I suppose I'll eventually use some Gooby Gone. But this keyboard is a candidate to be used for parts. Why? Well, because it's already missing some keycaps. And why is that? Well, because long ago, when I lived in Florida, there was somebody, and it was at some big corporation, something or another, where they had an Amiga, such as this, and keycaps got broken. And somehow, I guess this keyboard was deemed a worthy donor to save their keyboard, so I did. And I don't know if I've sold any others off of it, but certainly, basically, what they paid to have the keycaps replaced was much more than what the keyboard cost. So it was worth. Now, at the moment, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 missing. And the rest, well, this is not the cleanest of keyboards. Oh, it is not. There it is. So perhaps at some point it all needs to come apart and the keycaps get cleaned. And who knows, maybe I will try and help the world of Commodore by selling them, which I have done before. But right now, this would be a keyboard that I could test something with. Because just because the keycaps are missing, it doesn't mean the keys don't work. It just means they don't have their pretty covers on them. And as I have an Amiga right here, that I think I will soon get over here, perhaps I'll just set that up there on top of the Commodore 64 and see what's what. Now, other things over here. I must be careful. There are many cords and many things. I don't want things to fall down. So, the basic way that I know that you can tell an Amiga mouse from one for the 64, which would be the 1351, would be in the a tank mouse would be in this connector. If the connector is long, such as this, and has this extra thing, which I guess helps you pull it off or whatever, and even though it doesn't have an Amiga logo, it has a Commodore logo on both sides, then I believe that this mouse is for an Amiga, which there are a bunch of them here. So I think I'm going to set them very gently with these discs and things Now this is indeed a tank mouse. It's somewhat rarer. It has a different end again. And this end is the kind that went on an Amiga 1000. Now it's not that the same mouse as the 2000 or others would not work on Amiga 1000. But of course, for people who want an original, this is the end that is needed. So now, once again, and also I guess it really won't fit nicely onto an Amiga 2000. Probably not an Amiga 500 either. But a 1000 is good. Anyway, I do see more cords. More cords. So, what is this? Okay, from what I can tell, from what I just said, this too has an end like this. It is also a tank mouse. Oh, it has a thing written. It's got a little X on here, which would imply that maybe that's part of it isn't working. But I don't know. I can't test that right now. I'll just stick them all here. At one point in the last little while, I did find a box. And indeed, it had mice. Here is one that is much the same. It's a tank mouse. It's got the same connector. So this would be good for a 1000, a 500, a 2000, and etc. etc. Anything that had like the joystick port. The only ones that I think even the 4000 had that. I think the 4000, they had a weird keyboard connector. Which was a silly thing to do. Now, what do we have here? We have another. Oh yeah, okay, this is also for 1000. It's a tank mouse. And it has the magic end. The mice, by the way, they would get dirty. The balls would get dirty. The places that the little rolly things would get dirty. Oh, they would. Oh, yes. They'd get crusty. And this also, I know. Oh, well, it's funny. Because this has a shorter little cord, which would I would be inclined to think that was for the 64. But in fact, quite nicely, quite rightly, on the mouse it says, Amiga. I'll put that one here. They all need to be tested. Probably they need to be cleaned. Oh my golly, there's more. What is this? Well, this one looks remarkably clean. A tank mouse for the 1000. I'm running out of space in this little space. Oh no, no. That can sometimes ruin a recording. Let's see here. Oh, this one they must. Okay. Sorry. Oh my god. As I reach over here, there's it. Okay, this one. This one's kind of yellowed. It's another tank mouse. And I remember these. So therefore, a 1000. Long ago, years ago, this one says, it's like a disc write protect sticker. It says D. There it is, D. Long ago in Florida, I had a many Amiga 1000s all in a stack connected. They all had their own mouse. They were all connected to one monitor where I had a switch box, and I used them for copying. And some people said, oh, there's faster ways and better ways and da da da. But, and that may be true. Oh, look, here's another one. Also a little bit yellow, a little bit dirty. This one says A. And yes, it is for an Amiga 1000. What would I do? Oh, anyway, so I could copy, and I had I had corresponding single drives, 1010 external drives, so I could do a lot of copying at once, and I could just flip between the thing. And there are symptoms of when you're copying and things don't go well, and when they do, but I could just switch between and check things, and just so one monitor and a bunch of cables and a switch box I could just look through, and I found it to be quite efficient. Was it the fastest way of copying? No, it was not. But you know what? Sometimes fastest is not best, because the fast ways that were around back then did not allow for virus checking. And indeed, there were viruses, and they were usually stored in the boot sector on an Amiga disk. By the way, here's another Amiga Mouse. And this one would be, it's funny, I remember when these came out, they were with the 2500. They had this hokey, like, shrink wrap stuff. And obviously there was some component that they're like, oh my, what have we done? Because you can see it in there. So, anyway, but that's what they did. So I'll take that mouse there. Oh, I think maybe, possibly, come to the end of the line. Oh, this one has little tape on it. It's a select and menu. And it is also for an Amiga 1000. Thus, the connector. Anyway, I'm going to put these mice all right here. And see what's what. Alright, now, as I reach over here, I find, despite the sticker that I stuck on there, this is a power supply for an Amiga 2000. And it has a fan, and a power switch, and switching power supply. I don't know if it has a date. Made in Taiwan. Warning. High voltage inside. Do not open cabinet. Refer to qualified personnel. And it says it's 120 volt. It is. Now here, as we dig deeper into the pot, this, I may have to stop soon. The coffee is coming. Anyway, this is a 1010 Amiga. There we go. Okay, now, let's see if I can get this over here without causing trouble. This is a 1010 external drive for an Amiga. Worked on all of them. Had a 23-pin connector, and you could hook other drives up. This one is missing its faceplate, but that does not mean that it doesn't work. It also has, is that thing secure? Yeah, I guess it is. Also has a disc in there. What is a disc? I don't know. So I'll just pop it back in. We'll have to test that out. There's other things that have slid down. Oh, okay. This is a plastic bag, undoubtedly. It has screws and things and stuff that are to do with this Amiga 2000. Also looks like it has a rubber foot and also some plate cover things that would have covered the slots and things had there been nothing in there, but there is something in there. Right away, know this because I put it in there. I can see already there were some screws missing from this machine, and I can see there's 1, 2, 3, perhaps 4 cards in there, and 1 floppy drive. And what else? Oh, here are things that, this These are the evil things that kill old computers, the batteries. If you have any Amigas that have such batteries, or any, like for the 500, the RAM expanders that have such batteries from way back when, if they haven't already done damage, you're lucky. They need to be taken out, and you can just snip them out. You can. I'm going to put that here. And here is another. I think this one, just looking at the ends of it, I think it did a lot of damage in its lifetime. This is a tragedy. Circuit boards don't like the slime. And it's funny, it's not like goo. Anyway, whatever it is, it's kind of like, if you open up a flashlight you've had on the shelf for 15 years and there's stuff growing on the batteries, it can ruin the contacts in like a flashlight or radio or anything. Same principle applies, and it isn't that things can't be fixed, but it can be a whole lot of time, a whole lot of effort, and if you're having somebody else do it, a whole lot of money. And I don't know what it costs. I haven't ever taken something or sent it to the retrorewind.ca people, but I know that they do attack such things for people, and it certainly must be a very a mind-boggling, tormenting sort of endeavor. But in order to save an old machine, you got to do what you got to do. If you can't find another circuit board that you know is okay, it generally doesn't affect chips, but it just the stuff eats away at traces and things, and traces are necessary. They are. All right, well, looking back over here, I'm just going to. No, I'm not going to move this now. I can see already. There's screws that need to be put back in, and I'm starting to get that cough going. So I'm thinking what I will do is I will these screws that are necessary. There's a lot of them. I'm going to put up here next to the camera. I don't really need to have my helmet here, so I will put the drive back over here. I'm sure I will want to test it here, and the power supply. Yeah. There's no real room to stick it with the things to be tested. Perhaps I will put it on the Vic 20 box that I think, if anything, this will make it more secure and more stable. I think. So, the microphones are charging, and things are coming along and getting this area cleared. And of course, I have to clear this area in front of here so I can actually work back and forth. And this monitor, I think, is probably going to end up going back in its box, and I will measure the box and get other boxes made that are just slightly bigger, because I'm figuring this 1802 is probably going to go up for sale. Lovely. I like it. Not as much as the 1701 and the 1702, but I like it. But I don't want to ruin the original box by shipping it in the original box. So I'm figuring I will try and get a box made that is just a hair bigger, so I can slide this box in and then put the monitor in and make sure it's all safely packed, and then ship the box in the box. And then chances are after that I can get other boxes of that same size made for other monitors. Anyway, I just have to check it out. I keep meaning to do this. Have I done it? No, I have not. Anyway, so that is enough for today. This is coming along, however slowly, but it is coming along. I've seen some Facebook wisdom that says never criticize anyone who makes progress however slowly it is. Progress is good. So, progress. I think I will set this up to guard the Amiga 2000 power supply. And I will carry on. I shall indeed. Yeah, I do think I gotta check out this machine before I set it aside. I think. Funny, this hat, I kind of like it better when it's down, but it keeps on wanting to pep up. I was out today, and a fellow said, "I like your hat." I said, "Yeah, it came from the Salvation Army, and I've got this thing on the side that you really can't see, and it has the feather of what used to be. I got that, I saw it at Value Village for not much, and I said, boy, that'd look good on a hat. So I did. It's been on there for a long, long time. All right. We're getting there. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. And I guess soon enough, I'll know if these microphones work. Because if you see a video up with a bunch of music playing and there's no voice, it didn't work. It did not. Anyway, maybe I will call my brother back. So thanks for being here. We'll see you again. Bye for now.